Well, good morning or good day, whatever time it is that you are watching this. Welcome to Yoga Flow. We are going to start on our tummies, what we like to call a yoga nap. So I've become quite fond of naps the older I get. So you're just going to work your way onto your tummy and wiggle a little bit. Move your pelvis side to side, lengthen through your low back, lengthen through your legs, and then you can either rest your forehead down or a cheek and ear down. But when you come on your tummy, it's a lot easier to come inside, to close your eyes, to take out some of the external environment so that we can tap in deeper. And then just start to notice what's touching the floor, what's lifting away. Notice the shape and direction of your thoughts, shape and direction of your breath. And then yoga is all about yoking or uniting. So let's see if we can connect with our breath, with our thoughts, with our complete self. So as you encourage an inhale, your belly should press towards your mat, and your exhale just naturally softens away. Do that one more time just as you are. And then think about something positive, something that comes to mind that brings a smile from the inside, that lights up your heart. And then connect that with your breath and start to press into forearms and palms into a Sphinx posture. And in Sphinx, your elbows in general in line with your shoulders, but continue to open up through the collarbones, the front and back of your heart. And then pause for a couple of breaths here in your Sphinx, lengthening, expanding, a little back bend, a little heart opener. And see if we can feel the positive energy, the nourishment of your breath, of your thoughts, of your heart, starting to connect you from head to toe. And then press a little bit more weight onto the left side. We're opening up into half frog on the right. So you'll encourage your right knee to come out to the right. You could even help your inner thigh, inner knee open up a little bit more. Play with where your foot is. It can go in or out so that your hip can release. It is a hip opener. And be nice to your piriformis there that wraps around. And you may stay up on your forearms, or you can lower down for a couple of breaths. It'll change what you feel in your hips. You might want to just try a breath or two of each. As we're connecting with our feelings, our emotions, our passions, learning to honor them and not disregard them. And then just check back in. Hopefully we'll be able to come back here and see some changes, feel some changes. If you're not up in Sphinx, come back into Sphinx. Forearms and palms are down. Just take a peek over one shoulder. It doesn't matter which. Bring your chin towards your shoulder, towards your chest, towards the other shoulder. And then coming back to center, use a little bit of the low belly to bring your right leg back. And then just go ahead and release your upper body down for a moment. Bend into your knees in a little bit of a reverse windshield wiper, just letting your knees go one direction and then the other. Once you've gone both directions equally, you'll release your left leg down, press into your left forearm and palm so that your right hand can reach back for your right foot. So it's a half bow pose. Front of your hips and pelvis stay down. You press your foot into your hand into your foot. Get a little heart opening back bend. You can stay here depending on how you're feeling. You could extend your left arm and leg. It's going to take a little bit more of that Manipura chakra, a little bit more core, a little bit of ability to lengthen and lift to kind of leap of faith. And then whatever you're holding on to, literally, figuratively, let it go. We're going into 3 slow cobras. I don't move slow. I have to constantly remind myself in my mind, in my body, in my car, I need to slow it down sometimes. So don't tell anybody that. But so cobra, your legs are pretty close together ideally, unless that's impinging your low back. Obviously, listen to your body. But see if you can press the top of your feet down, squeeze through the inner thighs. And it's all the muscles along the whole spine that lift you up on an inhale and you soften on your exhale. So try to be light on your hands. Definitely no shoulders are involved in this. Your belly should press to the floor on the inhale and soften you down. The next time you lift up into cobra, here's the thing. Could you lift up your hands? Can you find that stability even when you're kind of just hanging out there by a thread? Can you find your voice? Can you find your breath? And then go ahead and just let that go. Say, that yoga nap was pretty nice. Where did it go? And then tuck your toes. We're going in from a cobra to kind of a closed knee, child's pose. So use your back. You're going to want to use your hands again. So less hands. Use your spine. Use your whole core. Inhale. And then exhale, just hinge back. Push your hips back towards your heels. Your forehead probably won't go to the floor, but if it does, fantastic. But we're not staying here unless you really want to. You're going to shift forward. Let's add a chaturanga with your knees down, a little bit of push-up. Bend your elbows, lower down, press up, go down. And then keep your toes tucked. Lift your chest. Here's your cobra. And then hinge back. So low belly is engaged. Use that strength to help navigate no matter where you go. You'll shift forward, bend your elbows. I mean, you really only have to bend them and go down to your cobra, but I'm throwing in an extra because, I like to eat and drink, and I got to find that balance, right? So inhale, lift your heart. There's your cobra. Exhale, shift back. And here's your last one before we move on. So shift forward, elbow squeeze in. It's your triceps that we're trying to get. Heart and collarbone stays light and open. Here's your cobra. Lift up through the chest. Tuck your toes. We're not lifting into downward dog yet. Just see if you can really stretch through your feet, stretch through your shoulders. And then coming into your tabletop, quadruped, whatever you call it. Hips on top of your knees, shoulders on top of your wrists. Gaze is forward, lower belly lifts. Breath is strong. It's connecting all of you. And then we're going to work through that right side. First, it's just a guarding gait. So don't worry about pointing or flexing your foot. It's pretty neutral. And we're just controlling out and in with your hip, trying to work from the inside out, finding your stability. And then we can add a lot more playfulness, because I like to play. When you do bring your knee up, here's the thing. You're going to try to walk your hands a little bit more forward, and then shift your weight forward. You're bringing your knee towards your tricep. And then you can bring it back, bring it out to the side. Now you're bringing it up higher towards your shoulder. And if you can get your knee over your shoulder, fantastic. We're going to work our way to that. And now you're going lower, knee towards your wrist. And then while you're at your wrist, bring it up to your tricep, up to your shoulder, and say, oh, my God, there's my core. I found it. Fantastic, because you're going to need it, all right? So you're bringing your leg back. Now you can tuck your right toes, tuck your left toes. Here's your plank. Lower belly lifts, press through the palms, look ahead, big breath. And then exhale, shift your hips up and back. And then do that 2 more times. You're coming into your plank, pause long enough to appreciate being in a plank, and then shift your energy back. Soften your knees a little bit. We'll soften them more later. 1 more time. Here's your plank. And then shift back. All right, so when you come into your plank this next time, just subtle changes. When you're in your plank, I want you to push through your feet. So that's guiding it, not your shoulders. Shift a little forward, shift a little back. So you're massaging your feet like we did in that closed knee child's pose. But ideally, when you shift forward, you feel the upper belly lift as well as the lower belly. We need all of you to work. So big breath in, shift your hips up and back, bend your knees a bunch and say, crouch dog, it feels so good. And then just straighten one leg. Bend into your knees, straighten another leg. Bend into both knees and just pause. How do you feel? Where are you? What can you let roll off your back? What can you bring back in, that positive thought, that energy or intention? And then now your right leg lifts up, flex through your foot. And you're going to bend into your knee and just push your foot up first. We'll open your hip later. But I want you to step a little bit forward and off your mat, maybe to the right, and come into kind of a funky downward dog and say, hey, hip include. I don't know about you, but mine is saying good morning. And then bring your right leg up, flex your foot, engage those glutes and the low belly, and then shift forward, come up a little bit more. And then stretch back, try to keep your front knee bent. And then if you want to play with it, straighten your leg and you'll find some more information. Bend into your knee a little bit, shift forward, bring your right leg back up. Now we're going all the way up towards your hand. So shift forward, engage that low belly. Maybe you can step your right foot outside of your right hand. And then try to keep lifting up to the left, spiral your belly and your heart and your gaze up towards the right. So it's a wide, twisted lunge. A little bit softer on the left hand. And then bring your right hand down, right leg goes up again. Now we're going across your body. So you're going to take your right knee to your left tricep and try to go up above your elbow. And then straighten your right leg out to the side. We call this rock star. Some people call it fallen triangle or fallen angel. See if you can rotate to the outside and inside of your feet and shift up your left arm and your gaze. If you're feeling really frisky, you can keep your right foot off the floor. You don't have to put it down. But it does have to lift eventually. So once you place your left hand down, right leg goes back up. Now engage that low belly, curve forward, pull your knee in, and then step forward with your right foot as close to your hands as you can. We're building a warrior one from the ground up. So pivot and plant your left foot, pull that right hip back, gaze is forward, arms go back behind you. Feel that strength of your spine like we did when we started on your tummy, and use that to come up. And then tweak, pull the right hip back, left hip forward, draw your shoulders down. How close do you want your arms? Some people like to have their palms together. Sometimes that's too much on your shoulders. But pause and just feel your warrior one, your stability. A little bit more of that outer heel and arch. And then if you don't need your arms, you're going to bring them back behind you, straighten through your leg, press your feet away from each other, lift your chest, and then hinge from your hip for a pyramid. So you're still pulling the right hip back, left hip forward, chest is forward, breath is strong, checking in, positive thoughts. Press through your feet, bend into your right knee, come up, back to your warrior one. Now we're going to share some of that positive energy with your neighbor. So your hands will come to your heart. Spiral just your heart, so your pelvis is staying where it is. Spiral towards the right. And then if you like, extend your arms. Right hand can go to kind of the tailbone sacrum area. And you're doing a reverse warrior one. Your gaze can be up, like you've got the beaming of the sun. Or this morning, my first thing I saw when I looked out the window was the little crescent of the moon. There's magic everywhere. And here, let's see if we can find some more. As you straighten through your right leg, keep pulling the right hip back, shift forward. Fold in your left hand towards your ankle, towards your shin. Spiral your heart to the right. And if you like, extend your right arm up. So taking your time. How are we doing? Can you slow things down? Can you appreciate where you're at? Maybe. All right. So bend into your knee. Come back up. Warrior one. Now we're going to find our balance, literally and figuratively. You're going to press with that right foot. It's grounding you, and you're going to pull your left knee up. You need to put your foot down. Fantastic, but pull it up again. Try not to lean, so you're straight down, straight up. Hands can stay at your heart, then go to your hips. You can reach them towards the stars. And if you like, you can extend your legs, see what's going on. How's that hip flexor? You can only lift it so high without pulling on other body parts. So we're going to just stretch your left leg back into a crescent is where we're going to land, but maybe you'll pause in that warrior three. So you shift forward, energy's going forward and back, you're balanced with your breath, with your heart. And then bend into your right knee, and you landed without even looking where you're going to land, right? You put that foot down, you found yourself there. Kind of celebrate that. And then let's take that. We're going into a plank. If you want, you can lift up your right leg and keep it lifted. One of my favorite things to do is to do like what I call a funky chaturanga. So you shift your weight, you bend your elbows, you lift your leg, you're looking ahead, and then you can come into your up dog or your cobra and your downward dog. Pause for a breath. See where you're at, where you're feeling a little space, where you're feeling a little grace, where we need to encourage that. And then we'll shift into your plank. Pull your hands closer towards you. If your knees want to go down, please invite them down. You're going to bend your elbows and we're lowering all the way onto your tummy. And here we are. We begin again. Yoga nap. So if you put your head down on one side last time, try to do the other. If you did forehead, you're good to go. Just a couple of breaths. Check in. Feel the beat of your heart, the movement of prana, of your vital energy. Maybe you've stirred up some warmth. And then come back to your intention, the light of your heart, the strength of your breath, your spirit. Then we come back into your Sphinx. From your Sphinx, we open up into half frog on the left side. So it'll be your left knee that goes out to the side. Again, give it a little help. If you want to come back to this and do it later, you might grab a blanket or something to put underneath your knee or even underneath your pelvis for a little bit of support. You can stay up on your forearms, or if you did go down for a breath or two last time, you really should explore. Try different things. You're going to open up different parts of you. Might yawn, swallow, release any tension that's collected in your throat, in your voice, your truth. And then for now, we'll bring your left leg back to meet your right. Release your upper body down. Check back in. Low back feeling okay and you're ready to make it feel better. Bend your knees and do your little windshield wiper here. And then it'll be your right leg that straightens. Right forearm palm comes down. It's going to give you a little bit of lift so that you can reach your left hand back for your left foot. It's the half bow on this side. Pelvis pressing down on the left and the right side. There's a tendency to lift up. Just see if you can lift up your heart, your chest, your chin, your knee. If you'd like, you can also lift up right arm, right leg, extending away from each other. If we have time, we can throw some other stuff in with this. It's kind of fun. If not, we'll throw it in next time. And then release, let go of what you don't need, literally, figuratively. Pause. The value of the pause is immense. It's really where everything comes together. So here's your cobra. I'm saying 3, but it's your breath, right? So the top of your feet press down. If you want to just kind of just stay lifted and just feel the inhales lift you more, you can. If you're saying, hey, I kind of liked lifting my arms and I want to stay there for 3 breaths, you may. Connecting with you. Make sure the top of your feet are pressing down, energy traveling down and then up. And then we take that and we tuck your toes. You have the 3 cobra, kind of funky, closed-knee child's pose. Just really a place to shift your energy forward and back and throw in some of the chaturanga prep. If you'd rather not have your knees on the floor, this could be a plank, down dog, chaturanga, plank, down dog, chaturanga. The next time you come forward, let's see if we can bring your knees underneath you, get a little tabletop, wiggle your hips, find some neutrality, pause. And then it's your garden gate on the left side. So your left leg is moving, but ideally nothing else is, right? So you're steady through your shoulder girdle, you're steady through your pelvis, working through the adduction and abduction of your hip. And then once you've got that little bit of extra lift, then you can bring your hands a little bit more forward so that you can bring your knee towards your tricep, shift back, come forward and up towards your shoulder, and back. I'm already kind of getting ready to bend into elbows, but sometimes you bend into your elbows and it does work your tricep, but bring down towards your wrist, but it also makes your shoulder closer. So good news, bad news. So the next time we're going to come towards your wrist, towards your tricep, towards your shoulder. And again, you can flip your knee over your shoulder if you like. And then when you extend it back, we build your plank. So again, you have a couple of breaths. You can stay in your plank. You can do the shifting forward and back like we did plank and down dog. But an inhale and an exhale, the power of both, the power of the pause, maybe shifting a little forward and back, because you kind of have to do that anyway with your toes to go into a plank, into a downward dog. And then if you're ready to add your chaturanga, up dog, you shift forward, bend into your elbows, lower halfway or all the way, and then you pull yourself up. When you are in your downward dog, take a moment just to release, recharge. Move as much or as little as you like. And then it's a left leg's turn. So your left leg's going to lift, bend into your knee, step out to the left, a little bit outside of your mat. Push your arms kind of forward and back, lengthening that downward dog. You could try to straighten your left leg a little bit too. Notice your hips are going to try to move to the right, so say no, we're going to feel what we feel. Bring your left leg up, shift forward a little bit like you're going into plank, step a little bit farther, so middle of your mat, and then get into your downward dog, arms and spine, and possibly both legs straighten. Engage the low belly so you're not flicking your foot on the floor to lift it up. Now you're shifting all the way forward. Pull your tummy in, step your left foot up, pass right outside of your left hand, wiggle it up. And then keep pushing your right heel back, right hip up as you spiral your heart towards the left. Try to press more weight into your feet, more energy into the inner thighs, less on your hand. And then as you bring your left hand down, you go up to the downward dog split, left leg up. Now you're curling across your body. So engage the low belly, look ahead. Bring your left knee towards your right elbow, tricep. Straighten your left leg, press through your feet if you have your foot on the floor. And lift up to that fallen angel, triangle, rock star. I kind of like rock star better, but hey. Isn't that a song? Everybody wants to be a rock star. I amuse myself. Plant your hand down, left leg goes up. Now we're building your warrior one. So shift forward, plant your left foot, pivot and plant your right. Hips are facing forward, both of them. Arms go back behind you to rise up mindfully. And then we tweak, we readjust. Ribs down, tailbone down. Belly, heart, crown your head up, possibly arms. Try to get a little bit more energy on the back pinky toe and the heel. Should help fire up your hamstring and your glute. And then as you straighten through your front leg, arms go back behind you, reverse prayer or cup your elbows. Press your feet away, lift through the belly. It's a little bit of a back bend first. Create space through the front. So when you hinge from your hip, you're creating space in the back body. You're almost spiraling your right shoulder towards your left heel. Pressing that left hip back. And then as you bend into your front knee, rise back up, warrior one, scoop up some positive thoughts and energy. Hands to your heart, and then you're twisting towards the left. So again, the heart is going left. You can keep hands at heart or extend your arms. I like to add a back bend in here, left arm behind the back, and get a little bit of a lift. It's actually quite nice on the front of the right hip. And then straighten through the left leg, hinge from your hip, shift forward, create that length first. And then right hand towards foot, ankle, shin, as you spiral towards the left. Keep pulling the left hip back, revolving your triangle. Using that balance. Close your eyes, it's even better. And then you're going to look ahead, bend into your front knee. I always like to kind of scoop up and then meet at my heart. This is where we add that little extra balance. Pressing into your left, pull up your right knee. Stay here and close your eyes. You could straighten your right leg in front of you. It's amazing what happens, though, when you change your focus. And then we're going into your crescent lunge. You decide if you want to pause in your warrior three. Slowly bending into your left knee, landing solid, rising above. And then again, downward dog is your destination. Thank you. And then you decide when you go into plank, do you want to keep your left leg lifted, shift your weight forward, bend your elbows, that funky chaturanga option. Pull your heart through, tuck your toes, lift your sit bones. Pause for a couple of breaths. Walk your hands a little bit closer to you here in your downward dog. Your heels should go a little bit closer to the floor. It's just a directional cue. Shift your weight forward until you can't go any farther. Bend your elbows. We're going all the way down, and we're going to do it again, but a little faster with the same mindfulness. So pause on your belly, yoga nap as much as you need to. If you want, bring your right knee out for your half frog. Come into half frog, half sphinx. Power of pause, of expansion. And then bring in your right leg, reach back for your foot. Here's your half bow. Again, you can keep left arm and leg on the floor or lift them up. And then slowly we'll release. This time your cobra is going to bring you to downward dog. If you still want to go into the table and the garden gate, you can. Otherwise, we're going to do all that in downward dog. So strong and steady, your cobra grows into an up dog. Lift up your sit bones, down dog. So first, your garden gate would be almost like you're going to flip your dog, but we're not going to do that today unless you totally want to. You bend your knees, stack your hips. You keep pressing forward, especially that right arm. So you're really twisting from your hip. You could take a peek underneath your left shoulder and wave your foot, see if you see it. And then look ahead. We're coming into plank, right knee, right tricep. And then shift up and back, right knee, right shoulder. Shifting up and back. And then now you're coming forward, right knee, right wrist. And then you're trying to go up to your tricep, up to your shoulder, up, back to the downward dog. And we're going across your body to rock star, fallen triangle, right knee, left elbow. Maybe this time when you extend your leg, you don't put it on the floor. And then you rewind, right leg goes back up, look ahead, pull that tummy in, gently land, build your warrior one, your way. So feeling solid. I like to do it from the ground up, but whatever helps you. Close your eyes if you can. Feel your body it uses its inherent wisdom to adjust. But it also has amazing habits, so some of them work, some of them don't. When you're ready to straighten your legs, arms go back behind you. Get a back bend first. Press your feet away. Hinge from your hip. And then same thing, you feel the energy of the feet traveling up through the thighs, lifting your heart, bending into your front knee. Come back to warrior one. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale with a heart lift, and then exhale, twist towards the right. Right arm goes back behind you, a little bit of the back bend. And then straighten through the front leg, revolving your triangle. Bending into your knee, coming back to warrior one. Press into the right foot, left knee comes up. Close your eyes. Bend your knee. Just rise for a moment so that we can plant your hands. Right leg goes back and go right to your downward dog or your vinyasa. From downward dog, walk your hands closer towards you. Shift your weight, knees can go down. You're going all the way down, nice and slow and steady. One more official yoga nap as we finish up the left side. So check back in, shape and direction of your breath, of your thoughts, of your heart. Connect them all together with a positive energy as you open up your heart in Sphinx. Left knee will go out to the side in your frog, where we tap into those fears and emotions and maybe repurpose them. Use them to bring you forward instead of backwards. And then when you bring your left leg back, you're going to reach your left hand back. Push your foot into your hand, half bow. Again, you can right arm. Releasing the foot if you have it. Here's your cobra, either pausing in your child's, going to your downward dog, into your table. This is where we add that little bit of lift and movement, core and hips. Stacking your left hip on top of your right, pushing forward with your hand, backward with your knee, taking a peek underneath your right shoulder, wave your foot. And then all that fun stuff where you shift forward, knee to tricep, shift up and back, knee to shoulder, up and back, and then it's everything. It's wrist, elevator, tricep, shoulder, back, crossed your body. You might as well share some of the energy with your neighbor. Here's your rock star. You can put your left foot on the floor. You can put it in your right hand. That's kind of fun too. And then when you say downward dog, this feels almost good. We might as well go into your warrior. So left foot steps forward, right heel down. Close your eyes, rise up. Feel your power. Find your steadiness even when you're not feeling steady, maybe especially then. And then straighten through your legs, bring your arms behind you, a little bit of back bend. Hinge from your hip, fold forward. How's your hamstring now? Have you been able to create some space? As you bend into your leg, you come back to warrior one, you come back to your heart. Big breath in, you're twisting to the left, ringing out what we've collected, repurpose, a little bit of a back bend, exalting. Straighten through your left leg, hinge from your hip, revolving your triangle, pulling the hip back. And here's your last little hurrah as you come back to your warrior one. Hands wherever you like. Press into your left foot, right foot comes up. Find your balance, stay, close your eyes, straighten your leg, all of the above, none of the above. Your leg goes back, shooting back, a warrior three to a crescent as you bend into your left knee. You rise up. One more vinyasa for you. So you plant your hands, left leg goes back and go right to downward dog. You shift forward, make that funky chaturanga. When you do get to your downward dog, bend into both knees, sit bones go higher, straighten through your legs. Shake your head yes to something. Shake your head no. And then we shift your weight forward. One last chaturanga. Bend into your elbows. Lower all the way down. Yoga nap. Big breath in through your nose. And let it out your mouth. And then think about what you need to complete your practice. You could roll over. You could stay here. You could do your windshield wiper and just ring out one last time. But I don't know about you, unless you're a tummy sleeper, kind of like with babies. We don't get enough tummy time, and it really is a whole different way of oxygenating your blood, of working with your diaphragm and your lungs. And again, of tuning in. So softening the face and the jaw. Relaxing the tongue and the shoulders. And that calm traveling all the way from head to toe. And with that call, may you hear a little bit more. May you listen without looking to hear something in particular. May you see what's really there and not what you would like to see. But may you use those skills to also repurpose and create what is important to you. So stay as you are or work your way up to a comfortable seat. If you do work your way into a comfortable seat, flip your legs. I always tend to have one leg in front or on the bottom, so I'm trying to do some different things. But wherever you're at, feel grounded, add a little bit of movement. If you are seated and have access to your hands, see if you can circle up belly, heart, head, gathering some of this great wisdom and energy around. But no matter where you are, feel this connection of your mind, your words, your heart, your intention, your breath, all of you, whole and complete. The light in me humbly bows to this light I respect in you. Namaste, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Hopefully you had a little chance to move, a little bit of pause, a little bit of stretch, a little bit of because that's what it's all about. But check us out. We got all kinds of different classes going on. Try some different things, different instructors. We've got, of course, YouTube at YA Detroit. We've got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at YMCA Detroit. So wherever you're at, have a great day. See you next time.